Hi everybody, it's Scott McKinstry here with Marketing with Story to talk about using transitions between your story and the sale. So in today's video I want to talk about why this is important, what it can do for you, and give you a quick example on how to do it, answer a few questions about it, and then also let you know what's in store for the next video. So why does it matter how we transition from our story to the sale? So just to be clear, when I talk about this story transition, I mean you're telling your story in your email or your sales letter, and in a moment you're going to pitch your offer, and then the transition is that space in between, what some call the turn. So why does that matter? Well, number one is if you don't have a good link there between the two, it can prevent you from using stories in the first place. If it feels too awkward or seems kind of flimsy or too salesy, then you miss the power of stories. And as you probably know, stories are an effective way of engaging the attention of our audience and to develop a feeling in them. So by having a good story transition, having a few in your back pocket, you can use those stories that you have. The second reason why story transitions help is they can help give you lots of ideas on what stories to use. Once you start thinking about the connection between your story and your pitch, your offer, it's going to start to stimulate your brain on think of different stories that you can use. Think of it like if you're connecting two Lego pieces. And once you know the connector that you're going to use, or thinking about making connectors, then you think about how those pieces line up. How do they join? And oh, this might not work so well, but this piece connects better. A different story might work, so it can help you generate those ideas. And last and most importantly, having a good story transition can help you make more sales. Why? Because the story is providing emotion, motivation, good feeling, goodwill, all that energy, and you want to carry that energy forward when it comes time to make your pitch. So you want that seamless transition. One way to think about it, here's a quick little analogy. Don't worry, there won't be homework later, is to think about a simple circuit for an electric motor. So you've got your battery, which supplies your energy. You've got your motor, the thing that you want to turn, and to get that energy to your motor you need to go through a switch. You need this switch to be closed or your switch to be turned on. It's the same way with using stories. So right here, this battery, that's like your story. It's supplying that motivation, that energy. Your motor, well, what's the motor of your business? Your sales, your pitch, your offer. And you want to harness the energy from your story and help it run the motor, help it make the sale. And to do that, you want a good transition, a good switch between the two. So I am not an engineer, but I do like taking stories apart and seeing how they work and how that connects with copywriting. You may have read some of my story sales blog posts from Copy Chief many years ago, and that's basically what I would do. How do these stories work? How does copywriting work? And how can we connect the two? So in a way, that's what we're doing today. So one simple way that you can start using right away that you can take away from today is to make a direct connection between your story and your sale. And a simple way to do that is by asking a rhetorical question. Ready for it? Here it is. Why am I telling you this story? You just state that. You tell the story, then you say, why am I telling you this story? And you answer your own question, which will lead into the sale. So it can really be as simple as this. I've used this in a multi-million-dollar control sales letter, and I have probably used it in some of my emails, and I probably used it in some of my blog posts, where you tell a story, you get people engaged, and then you tell them why you're telling it. So here's just a quick example. Suppose that I sell memorabilia like Pokemon cards, something that my family's kind of into right now, and I tell a story just from my life. Maybe you're on my email list, and you're used to hearing from me, used to hearing me share personal stories, and so I talk about the time I went to the car wash, but I couldn't get the machine to work, and it was like an automated car wash that you drive through, and there's cars behind me, they're honking, and I'm getting embarrassed, and the car's really dirty. My kids wrote in "wash me" on the back windshield, and the embarrassment mounts, and so I just kind of back up and zip out of there. That's the story. And I'd say, why am I telling you this story? Well, I don't really care how my car looks. It can be dirty. It doesn't matter to me. I'm not so much of a car guy, but I am a card guy. I care very much how well preserved my Pokemon cards are. That's why I use this, triple pane, bulletproof, enclosed crystal quartz case to keep my Charizard EX here all in pristine condition. And I've got 3 of these right here, and selling them for $500 a piece or whatever it is. So there you go. It's a direct connection. It's lighthearted. It's not a very serious story, but it gets the job done, or at least it is the starting point. So if you're stuck, let's say you don't even have a story, you've got your pitch, you put that down there, whatever your call to action is, click on this link for my X, and then type in, why am I telling you this story? If you have that just to begin with, you might start then talking about, well, because my offer is and that might click on an idea for a story. So like I said in the beginning, having that story transition can help generate ideas for a story. So you may change this, you may finesse it, but it is a good place to start. Another quick example. Let's take a more serious story. So suppose I'm a psychotherapist, and I have created a video course for how to communicate with your loved ones. Communication, very important. So I'm not going to tell a story about one of my clients today, but let's say I just read or heard about a near-death experience that somebody had. So I relate that story, and then I say, why am I telling you this story? And I say, because hopefully we never find ourselves in that position, but if we do, we quickly see what's important to us. And for most of us, that's our family, the people close to us. Sadly, one of the reasons why people don't stay connected that I see in my practice is they don't know how to communicate. That's why I've created this course, to help you communicate. Here's where you can find out more. So again, it's a simple transition that can help you do this. Now, one thing people wonder is, well, is this going to be too salesy or kind of flimsy, kind of obvious? It's a totally understandable concern, and it's one that I've had before too. One answer is that most people, it's not even going to occur to them. If they're reading your message, your email, or your sales letter, they're interested. They're interested in what you have to say, they like your story, and they're following along, right? So you already have that connection with them. It's true that you may want to, like I say, finesse it or make the connections a little bit deeper, and we'll talk more about how to do that in later videos. But I just wanted to give you a quick way that you could start simply. So if you have any questions, please either respond to the email I sent you and ask, or you could just leave a comment here under the video and ask any questions. I'd love to hear from you. Little preview on next video, I want to talk about a quick storytelling technique you can use. If you've got a story but you're not exactly sure how to do it, I've got a simple little method that can get you running. It's the talk to the hand method, and it includes the 5 P's of storytelling. Here's a quick preview. You want to include the person in the story, the place where it takes place, the period, the time period when the story happens, the problem that your person is facing, and the plot, which just means what happens next after they get this problem. So we'll talk about that more next time. Until then, stay storied. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.